Good evening. Welcome again to City Scene TV. Tonight we're talking about programs, I guess you could say primarily for teens, 20s, albeit very different programs. Our first guest will be addressing eating disorders, which affect over 10 million residents in the United States annually. Rachel Sherwyn is from New Beginnings Counseling Center, and Sam Albert is with CSUCI. And so we're going to be focusing on National Eating Disorders Awareness Week. A bit later, we're going to meet Heather and Kathleen Behrens to talk about the educational homestay programs. First, let's welcome Rachel and Sam.
Welcome
ladies.
to both of you.
Hi.
So, despite the outreach and the awareness with these eating disorders, we've had New Beginnings on for many years running this week, for this period of time, this Eating Awareness Week. It seems like a lot of people still aren't aware of the issue and how it affects people and how many people it affects. How many cases get reported locally or on an annual basis or so?
Well, I don't have statistics on how many get reported, but I do know, I work in private practice at New Beginnings treating eating disorders, but primarily I work at La Ventana Treatment Programs, which is an eating disorder rehabilitation facility. And we're flush.
Yeah.
So people are coming in for treatment. I've always conceptualized it this way, that I think eating disorders are kind of the new drug and alcohol addiction. Back in the 1940s or so, people weren't really recognizing that as something mainstream. But it took time, and then now it's commonplace. You see it on TV. There's AA meetings on television. I think eating disorders is kind of experiencing the same wave. So there is more people coming in.
And it doesn't seem like it's, and this, I don't know if this is the right word, but it doesn't seem as taboo as it used to be.
Exactly. Yeah, it's becoming more
acceptable to look
get
for treatment.
Exactly. I wouldn't say like, oh, it's acceptable to have it necessarily, but it's not stigmatized as much.
Right. And also, what John and I have learned over the years having you folks on is that you're seeing a lot more teen boys than you've seen in past years.
Yeah, and males in general are coming into treatment.
In general.
Yeah, more of all ages.
So Eating Disorders Week this year is February 23rd?
The last week of February.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe it's February 23rd through March 1st.
Okay.
But like Cal State Channel Islands is doing theirs the week after, which is not uncommon. College campuses do things sort of where they're able to, like Moore Park is having events at Moore Park College and different
And Sam, what's your role then? Are you a representative from the university? Is that?
Yes, I am a student assistant in multicultural programs, and so we put on events that advocate for all kinds of different areas in society. And so for National Eating Disorder Awareness Week, on Tuesday, March 4th, we will be having Shades of Beauty, a Mind, Body, and Spirit retreat. It's from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And we'll be having some yoga that will be taught by Marty New. She's a faculty member at CI, and she also owns her own yoga studio up in Santa Barbara called Climb Time Yoga. And so, so she will be doing a yoga session, and then we'll move into a performance art piece called Body Reflections that's directed by Marty and choreographed by Heather Castillo, who is a faculty member at CI as well. And that performance art piece is called Body Reflections, and it will be exploring the way the body is throughout our life cycle, and it's going to be really amazing. It's going to be in a reflection pool, so it's going to be
really?
Yeah,
cool.
so it's
And everything will be on the campus.
Yes, everything's on the campus, and then after that we'll have a panel of nutritionists and a mental health therapist. Marty and Heather will be there, and other guests that are experts in the field, and there'll be a Q&A kind of thing going on, so you can learn more about the disorder, and that will be again on Tuesday, March 4th. And if anyone would like to go, please RSVP to Jennifer Chapman, jennifer.chapman@csuci.edu. And by February 18th,
we're all about plugs. So
and we only have room for 30 non-CI community members. So
there's really not much going on, it sounds.
Yeah. Want to go to that.
So before we get into the specifics of what an eating disorder is, what's the crux of the cause? Why? I mean, come on, help us.
Yeah, I spoke actually on Saturday at UC Riverside about this, so it's fresh in my mind. And I really conceptualized the crux of it as an inability to deal with feelings.
Wow, in a nutshell.
In a nutshell, really, truly. Like, feelings are too overwhelming to experience,
I'm not
to
gonna eat.
deal with. So by controlling other things, it provides a buffer and a distraction.
So
Wow.
people either will eat or won't eat, depending on their emotional state. kind of
Or
thing.
will eat and then
Purge,
And
get rid of it.
Right.
binge,
yeah,
purge.
Yeah.
Wow.
or exercise excessively. Diabetics will mess with their insulin levels. I mean, there's all sorts of...
Well, we hear about emotional eating all the time.
Exactly.
I mean,
yeah.
So, you know, and like we've talked about through the years, some of the terms that are out there that, you know, us who don't know a lot about it
Sure.
become accustomed to hearing, like anorexia, binge eating, bulimia. How do you separate these? What separates someone who has bulimia from someone who's a binge eater, et cetera?
Yeah. Well, luckily, the Diagnostic Statistical Manual lines it out pretty clearly for us clinicians. Someone with anorexia is going to be restricting their food intake more often than not. In the former version, it was they also needed to be under 85% of the ideal body weight. But now that's changed. And they used to have like a lack of periods, amenorrhea, but now that's changed, right, because that excludes men. So, but you're going to see low weight and restricting most of your food take, and oftentimes an excessive amount of exercise.
goes along with
intense fear of weight gain.
anorexia.
This is all anorexia.
Okay, I didn't know the exercise was a part of it. Okay.
Yeah, it tends to, not always, it tends to. And there's two different types of anorexia. There's the restricting type, where it's just restricting, but there's also the binge purge type, where they are eating, but via exercise or even vomiting, they're getting rid of it, but their weight's staying so low that they qualify for anorexia rather than bulimia.
And bulimia is normal weight?
So bulimia, yeah, I'm just going through.
No, that's okay.
Yeah. So bulimia, they can appear to be of average weight. They can be overweight. They might be underweight. But what needs to happen is a binge episode, which is within 2 hours or less, they are eating a quantity of food larger than the average person would eat. I've heard.
And we're not talking about a single event. Thanksgiving dinner.
Right, exactly. On a pattern, I would say, I don't remember the exact statistic, like diagnostic term, but I think it's definitely at least multiple times in a week.
Okay.
Oftentimes I see it's multiple times in a day.
Really?
And then purging via, it could be laxatives, emesis, you know, exercise. And then binge eating disorder, you just have the binges without compensatory behaviors.
Right. Wow.
All right.
One of the things I noticed on the CSUCI was the Freudian and sip. So what's that about?
So during the week, we will be handing out, when you buy like a cup of coffee or a smoothie or something, we'll be handing out samples of smoothies, and you can buy a smoothie, and on the smoothie cup, it'll have different facts and ways you can help your loved ones who are coping with an eating disorder, or just raising awareness itself to get it out there, because this is a problem. So
I love that.
yeah.
So how did you guys come to do this collaboration with New Beginnings on this? How did that come about?
Well, we've been working with them for a while. Last year, we had a performance art piece again. It was The Good Body, written by Eve Ensler, who's famous for the vagina monologues. And so with our performance, New Beginnings wanted to come and table to offer some.
I was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To offer to offer help, because that show, I was in that. That show, addressed all kinds of issues that primarily women are facing in society, and eating disorders and body image was a big factor of that. And so that's why New Beginnings came, because they wanted to offer help to people.
Okay.
And
very good.
we're there.
Good, yeah.
We have a few images, right, to take a look at here. What's going on? So there's the...
So yeah, that's our, that's on our website. That's our logo for New Beginnings Counseling Center. That's NEDA, the National Eating Disorder Association. That this year is their theme for NEDA Week, is I had no idea that eating disorders can destroy lives. So again, right, bringing up awareness to the mainstream, and that's just another thing from NEDA Week.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
So how is somebody, how do people come to you? Are they referred to you from a physician's, I'm sure probably all of these, from a doctor, their parents bring them in, they come in and say, help?
All
Okay.
of that. You know, let's see. I have an ad on Psychology Today on Therapist Finder, so they sometimes just see my profile, see that I specialize in treating this, and go in through the internet through that way. Schools, the school system, because we do treat a lot of adolescents. They're aware of where to go, where to direct young people when they're dealing with that. But physicians, of course, are definitely a good referral source.
And did I read that sometimes dentists will pick up on?
Dentists,
Is that right?
yes. Dentists are very good at spotting what they will call, I think, I've been in recovery for 8 years, and I had a dentist once be like, really? Yeah, you don't have anorexic teeth. I was like, oh, I didn't know that was a thing. Okay.
The enamel.
Right. Well, the bone, density wears down for anorexia. For bulimia, you'd think it'd be more obvious with the teeth, right? From the vomiting, it erodes the teeth away.
Maybe it also makes the throat get very.
And with binge eating disorder, because of the sugar intake, it also erodes the teeth. So dentists, they know their stuff.
So you made mention that you've been in recovery for 8 years. So obviously your personal experience is what brought you here.
Yeah. It's
probably very helpful.
It gives me a bit more street cred.
I would think.
Yeah, they, they may not listen to me all the time, but when I can go one-to-one on a personal basis and be like, yes, it's hard to do recovery, but it is doable, and you will have a better life at the end of it, it makes them a bit more motivated.
Now, from somebody who's been in the trenches, is this, because I've heard that alcoholics, people who are in recovery from drinking, fight it every single day of their life for the rest of it.
Yeah.
Is that the same for an eating disorder?
And I can't speak for everybody's experience. I have found that it's gotten so much better with time.
Oh, okay. And maturity and ability to handle emotions and feelings.
Yeah, but I think you always need to do your work. Like an alcoholic would go to AA meetings. If things are coming up, I'll check with trusted peers or colleagues, and I go to therapy, I'll go to meetings. I think it's always good to be mindful.
Good.
Well, getting a sign from Chad that we're running out. So, what's the best number to contact you about this information?
My cell phone is fine. That's my main number. 818-335-4144. New Beginnings website is also great.
So it's New Beginnings.
Yeah, and I just wanted to mention we're having an event, for NEDA Week. That Wednesday, there's an ANAD meeting, which is anorexia and associated disorders, and we're doing the theme, healing our culture, accepting our bodies, and I'll be speaking on body image awareness in the media.
Cool. And for the CSUCI events?
Yeah, so just email my supervisor, Jennifer Chapman.
Oh, Jennifer again.
It's jennifer.chapman@csUCI.edu. She is the coordinator of multicultural programs.
Great.
Thank you very much,
ladies.
ladies.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.